All right, guys, what do we got? I feel like I just talked to you.
Okay, you did.
Go ahead, Rich.
Building into a scrimmage for Sunday?
Uh,
You get
yeah, day 5. So what's today? Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah. So tomorrow's we have the fan fest at night. So we have the practice at night, which I think is cool. I think our players are excited about that. It gets you into the stadium a little bit later day, so they start at night. Change up the time on them a little bit. Gets their families here, some fans here. Be cool to get some youth kids here, get around, see how they practice, sign some autographs after. So we wanted to kind of change that up and give it back a little bit. So hopefully a bunch of people will come out and watch our players. And then the following day will kind of be more of a walkthrough day. We'll ramp it up the next, and then we'll scrimmage on day 5. So that would be Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll scrimmage Sunday. We'll go in the stadium and we'll scrimmage. We're getting there. We're close.
For that scrimmage on Sunday, will you treat it sort of like the spring game or more competitive?
No, there'll be no one there watching. There'll be no TV cameras, so it will be full go, and it will be full offensive scheme versus full defensive scheme, and we won't hold back. The spring game is, like I said, you just want to be careful. You want to get out healthy. You don't want to show too much scheme. This is getting ready to play a game at this point, so this is entirely different.
Now we have a lot of new faces in the secondary. How are they doing so far during camp? What have you seen from them? And can you just talk a little bit about the secondary?
Yeah, that's a good question because there are a lot of new faces. I mean, Alex Washington's had a really good camp. He's a good player. He gives us size and length. He's a really smart kid. He's a tough kid. He's been really solid. Amari Jackson, not really a new face. I mean, if you remember, we started Amari versus Clemson last year, and I remember the first play he had. I was like, oh boy, he's not scared. Then he got hurt, or he probably would have finished and started every game after that. John Pupil is a name no one is probably talking about, and John's going to make a run to be a starter. He is smart, he's tough, he's reliable, he has an edge to him. He's a good football player, man. He's a really good football player, and he keeps showing up. That's a new name again. I'd be foolish not to mention him. He's got a chance. And then Victor. Victor's got ball skills. He had 2 picks today in practice where he's just so instinctive. He goes up, he sees it, and he tries to make plays on the ball. Curry's he's coming back from an injury. He'll be good to go next week, so I'm excited to see what he'll be able to do. Am I missing any new guys on defense?
I think you got everybody.
Okay. But, yeah, it's cool because now there's competition for jobs, so they're fighting every day, and the freshmen are doing a good job. Carter Davis and KP Price, they're in there. So it's going to be fun to see how it plays out, and then if we can rotate guys and play more, we'll play more. So I'm excited about that.
Go back to Alex Washington a little bit.
Sure.
Was he a corner or safety?
Corner.
Okay, cover corner.
Yeah, I mean he's a corner, so he'll play zone, he'll play man. Find out if he can tackle, how well he tackles as we get going. But like I said, he's got good size, he's got good length. He's very smart. He practices really hard. And the neat thing about him is, I said it in the staff meeting the other day, you're not noticing him a lot. And that's a good thing at corner. When you're noticing guys at corner, it's usually because they're getting beat deep. So you start watching, and the ball's not going that way, the ball's not going his way. That's a good sign. So we'll try to get him some more action, but he's put together a good 6 days. I'm excited to see what he can do.
Is he adjusting to the speed of faster receivers like Ryan O'Keefe and think guys that you didn't see in the Ivy League?
Yeah, that's a good point, too. I think in the spring, the first time he probably backpedaled. You got to get a feel as a DB when to open up your hips. I think he probably didn't realize how fast he had to open up his hips because Ryan O'Keefe was probably 5 yards past him at that point. But he's adjusted, and I think he's done a really good job with that.
You mentioned the end of practice time for the freshmen. Has anybody stood out and kind of already made a run to get to playing time, or is it way too early?
There's been guys that have jumped out. Were you guys here at the end at all today? It was pretty cool. You see how excited? Yeah. The cool deal is the older guys, see how excited they get when we had a couple interceptions or a couple big plays. I thought Jacoby threw the ball really well. I thought today was probably his best day throwing the ball. Nate Johnson had a couple really nice catches. Jane Skeet's a guy that he's already working in with the 1s and 2s, so we kind of hold him out of there a little bit. But those guys jumped out today. It's just cool to see the energy and to be able to do that. We haven't been able to do it because those guys have been our 2s. Now they're our 3s and 4s. So, yeah, continue to develop them because you know what's going to happen. At some point during the year, we're going to need one of those guys. So.
Just real quick on another freshman, Josiah Griffin.
Yeah.
What has he done so far? I know I covered him a bunch, and he's just a freak athlete.
Yeah, Josiah's in the mix, another another guy who's got a chance to help us, I think, this year. We got some depth at that position, but he's rolling in. He's not a guy who's just working with the threes in the end. He's got a chance. I think he's going to be a really good player. He's athletic. He's put on weight. He's put on strength. He can bend, and he's another really smart guy. So I know, Joe Griffin is a name that everybody knows and talks about. Josiah is going to be one that everybody will too. It might not happen this year, but it's going to happen.
When you've had injuries on the offensive line, I mean, that can kind of affect all aspects of the offense. And what does it mean to have, kind of hopes for the same unit playing together all season that you kind of have?
It changes everything. It's not just offense. It changes your defense and your special teams. We're going to run the ball, and I want to control the game by running the ball and not playing 110 plays on defense and playing the game of field position like we did early when I was here, and trying to win the field position battle and try to win the possession battle, the time of possession battle, which is really important. It all goes up front on both sides of the ball. When you can run the ball, take time off the clock, then your pass game becomes alive, right? Then you score a lot of points. So those guys have done a really good job. There's still battles, which is, again, it's great to see that there's competition and there's depth. And even, we don't talk about Kevin Klein. Kevin Klein was our starting right tackle, gets injured, and Kevin's in the mix, right? Last year this time, I was like, this guy's going to be, and I still think he's going to be. He just hasn't played football in a while because of the ACL, but he's doing a nice job. So I'm excited about that group. We need to keep them healthy, but like Christian said, there's a nastiness and there's a toughness, and there's a chip on their shoulder with some new guys, but I hope people keep sleeping on that group.
What are you seeing from Emmett, changes from last year to this year?
Just more confidence. Last year, he really didn't have many reps. Kind of just went in and played ball. More confidence. He knows what he's doing. The ball's coming out quicker. With people in his face and stuff, he's less likely to drop his eyes and keep his eyes down the field and step up and hit his check downs. Just experience and confidence. That position is a premium.
Very
That's good. All right, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Yep. See you guys.
around, yep.
See you next
Okay.
time.